There is a specific, terrifying realization. It usually hits you first thing in the morning. You open your eyes and realize that years have simply vanished, and you have very little to show for them. Your time is swallowed by an endless loop of scrolling through other people's lives, dragging yourself through the week just so you can briefly escape it on the weekend. The standard advice tells you that fixing this requires a 5 or 10-year master plan, that building a different version of yourself is a decade-long grind. This chart compares the output of a decade of distracted effort versus 6 months of total focus. When you strip away every peripheral obligation, the compound effect of that work suggests that a much shorter, more aggressive timeline is actually possible. Most moderate attempts at change fail because your current environment is designed to keep you exactly where you are. To break that inertia, you have to temporarily sever the connection to the world, not as a punishment, but to find the silence necessary to build something new. The first rule of disappearing is cutting the noise. Everything that extracts your energy without returning a dividend has to go. That means ignoring the meaningless texts, skipping the mandatory social gatherings, and shutting down the passive streaming binges that leave you feeling hollow. When you actually do this, it feels terrible at first. Without background static, you are left with a massive, uncomfortable silence in your day. To survive that silence, you build a fortress. Concentric boundaries represent daily routines, actively blocking the old habits trying to pull you back in. You wake up at the precise same hour. You designate blocks for learning and uninterrupted windows to work on your craft. People look at strict routines and see punishment, but discipline is actually a mechanism of protection. Every time you hold the line on your daily structure, you are protecting your future self from regret. You cannot maintain that psychological fortress if your physical body is weak. Treating fitness like an optional hobby is the easiest way to guarantee you'll fail. Every single time you push through physical pain, whether it's lifting, running, or completing another rep in an empty room, you generate hard, undeniable proof for your brain that you can survive difficult things. That physical endurance translates directly into mental resilience. The physical strength you build is the exact same strength required to rewrite your thinking patterns. Once your mind is primed, flood it with high-quality data. Read the books you've avoided and journal every single day to forcibly overwrite the old neurological loops. A new trajectory requires more than just new goals. It requires different cognitive defaults. You cannot expect a new reality to emerge if you are still relying on the same reactive patterns. Eventually, you will hit a wall. I call it the loneliness test. This is the exact moment where the vast majority of people break their silence and run right back to their old lives. You will start wondering if people have completely forgotten about you. The fear of missing out hits hard, followed by a sudden panic that you are becoming socially irrelevant. If you can just sit in that friction and endure the isolation, your environment transitions into a laboratory. The panic fades, and you discover a state of deep, uninterrupted self-awareness. Without any audience to impress, your brain stops wasting calories chasing external validation. All that energy is immediately rerouted into rapid skill acquisition and mastering your craft. This chart maps the compound effect of that focus. Look at the flat line. That's 3 years of standard, distracted living. Now look at the exponential curve. 6 months of concentrated isolation puts you significantly ahead of where you would have been. As the 6 months close, your baseline desires undergo a massive shift. The things that used to control you, workplace gossip, digital likes, superficial weekend plans, no longer have any psychological grip on you. People will inevitably ask where you've been, but because you've actually built something real, you won't feel any urge to explain yourself or prove your worth with words. Your results do the talking. If you feel stuck, let this be your starting point. Step away. Give yourself 6 straight months of total silence, strict focus, and aggressive building. You don't lose the world when you disappear from it. Severing that connection is exactly what you must do to find out what you are truly capable of becoming.